All right. All right, everyone. I'm telling you, it is another awesome day here on the Sea Island Morning Show. I'm telling you, today we're talking about what causes hair breakage. Listen to me. If you're just tuning in live, and I know we love us some Joe Madison, don't turn that radio off. Right now, you need to take that pen and paper out. You need to call that neighbor who you see her scalp. You need to be able to call somebody with their hair falling out. You need to be able to get on the phone right now and call your auntie, tell her take them wigs off. Get on 1450 AM WOL, where information is power, because I'm telling you, Sea Island is in the building. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is Sea Island here. Chet Bennett from the Bennett Career Institute, founder, CEO. I am so excited to always be here on Mondays to share with you all about everything in reference to the industries. It's not just about the beauty industry. It's about life. It's about just being able to be on point in reference to your hair, and that is the important thing. Now, today we're going to be talking about, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get your pen and paper ready, because we're going to talk about today what causes hair breakage. We're going to talk about when to know when you need a trim. We're also going to discuss how to maintain healthy, relaxed hair. My job, the main reason why I come in Monday after Monday after Monday, is to enlighten our listeners, is to encourage our people. We know that many of us have never been into the beauty school. We never took classes. We don't know a lot about our hair. We jump on the internet. We try to figure out why my hair falling out, and you Google all this kind of stuff. Well, I'm telling you, it can stop right here. The authority in the beauty industry is here to talk to you about hair breakage. Just to let everyone know that what I'm going to be doing is the Breaking the Cycle series. This week we're talking about hair breakage. If we have time today, we're going to be talking about breaking bad habits. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to go back and forth from hair to actually life, talking all about breaking those cycles. I am sick and tired of some of you walking around here with your hair looking a hickory hot mess. I said it over and over again. It doesn't make any sense. Now listen. I was out this week, and when I tell you I can't understand, maybe it's because it was Thanksgiving, so many people, their hair in a ponytail. We're going to talk about them ponytail wearers. That's why I said get on the phone, call your girlfriend, say Sea Island is on it today. We're going to talk about them ponytails. We're going to talk about them buns. We're going to talk about them rubber bands in that hair. We're going to talk about all of that today. So listen, I want you to sit back, relax, get that pen and paper. Today we're talking about what causes hair breakage, when to know you need a trim, and how to maintain healthy, relaxed hair. I get so sick of people telling me I'm going to go natural because chemicals has broken my hair. I'm going to go natural because I'm going to go natural because Baby, let me explain something to you. You can still have a healthy head of hair. You still have a healthy head of hair, and it'll be relaxed. But let's go to our announcements. All right, we got MD on the line. We're gonna get back to the causes of breakage in a second, but we got to do our announcements first. MD, good morning.
Good morning, Sea Island. How are you this morning?
All right, MD, is our entertainment guru. He calls us often. He is a part of our show. Before we get to the entertainment, because I want to know what you thought about the Soul Train Awards, I just wanted to say happy birthday to Rakia Dotson. Walter Dickerson, I know he's listening in Paris, France. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Walter. Rashonda Pelzer, Richard Pelzer's sister, and Miss Amy Langley. Today is their birthday, so happy birthday. All right, so Melvin, before I get into my Thanksgiving and all that kind of stuff and Black Friday and all of that, let's talk about the Soul Train Awards. Talk to me.
Well, the Soul Train Awards came on last night, hosted by Cedric the Entertainer. Now,
Melvin, MD. I just thought that Cedric, it was really, I love Cedric. He's one of my favorite comedians. But I felt that when Eddie Levert was out there, have a seat, sir. Let us enjoy Eddie Levert. Why are you following behind him like his sidekick? Go ahead, sir. I'm not going to take up your time.
Well, real quick, they had the pre-show, the red carpet, which was hosted by Tamar Braxton,
which should have been hosted by you, because Tamar Braxton, she looked a little porcelain.
Well, you know what? Like I say this, we like us some Tamar Braxton. She a little cuckoo crazy. That's why they had her on the red carpet. I thought she was fun. I really enjoyed her. Tony Rock, comedian, which I thought was funny too. But the real show, of course, was the Soul Train Awards. Basically it was a tribute to the creator, the late great Don Cornelius. So
yes.
the whole show was just really geared, around the Don Cornelius legacy and the Soul Train legacy. But I liked it. I loved the show this time because they mixed the old with the new.
Yes, one thing that I thought was awesome was the crowd looked great. I thought the show was well produced. To me, it was a different vibe from the BET Awards. It gave you the old and new, like you said. And,
right.
and one of the things that I really enjoyed about the show was how it allowed us to see new upcoming people. Like, I never even heard of Miguel before.
Oh, okay, where are you,
Sorry.
Nancy Allen? Okay.
That's what you're there for, to keep me abreast. But one thing I can say is I give my C. Allen stamp approval to Miss Keisha Cole. My God, she looked good last night.
She looked good. She sounded good. Like I said,
yes.
I like the fact that they had the old artists with the new artists. They brought out Stevie Wonder, of course, which is a staple at all the award shows. You got to have Stevie.
Okay, but I got to say this, baby, first of all. Now, wait a minute. I love Stevie Wonder. God knows I do. Happy birthday to you. But whoever is doing his hair, Jesus, keep me near the rugged cross. That's all I can say.
I said let it go, Steve.
First of all, not only let it go, but we see why it's going. Because did you see, listen to me, listening audience, did you see how tight those locks was? My God. I was just upset just looking at how tight they did the locks. Wait a minute, man.
Whoever did it, they did it real tight, C. Allen.
It reminded me of the Essence lady, how every time I used to see her, I would just get so angry because I was like, ma'am, I know you getting on the air in front of millions of people, but they did not have to do it so tight like that. My Jesus. And today we're talking about hair breakage. Go ahead.
Okay. Maybe that's one of the reasons why hair breakage, because your hair braided too tight. I don't know. That's your expertise, okay?
Go ahead, MD. Okay, quick. I got to go. Go ahead.
I like the fact that they had, like, the old with the new. Like I said, they had Eddie LeVert out there. They had Charlie Wilson out there.
Yeah, but Charlie Wilson came out too many times. He could, after the first time, he could have had a seat.
You got to have some Charlie Wilson, especially at the Soul Train Awards. And then at the pre-show, they had Jody Watley. We haven't seen Jody Watley in a while.
Wow.
I like the fact that Fantasia came out there and sang. She looked good. She sounded good.
Yeah, she was my number 2. I think Keisha Cole. Go ahead.
John Legend.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 Chainz.
Yeah, that was a man.
2 Chainz is, yeah.
Well, one thing I noticed about 2 Chainz, I never heard of 2 Chainz either, but one thing I noticed was the fact that 2 Chainz had on your jacket that you had about 10 years ago.
Yeah, that Dolce & Gabbana jacket. Maybe either he just brought it back from the archives or they done issued it over again. I don't know.
Okay, because I remember over 10 years ago you had that exact jacket.
It might be mine.
Did you put it on eBay, MD?
I did sell it.
All right, listen, we got to go. I thank you so much for calling in, MD. And I tell you, for the listening audience, if you did not get a chance to see BET Soul Train Awards on Centuries or BET, please make sure that they're going to repeat it 1,000,000 times. Now, MD, really quickly, I only have a couple of seconds left. Talk to me about the Housewives of Atlanta. What was your take last night? Oh, we got him off the phone? Okay, all right, very good. All right, everyone, listen, so Thanksgiving was awesome. We want to thank everyone. I hope we were able, the Bennett Career Institute was able to give out over 11 Thanksgiving baskets to needy folks in our community. Also, the Washington Hospital Center Cancer Institute, they came in on Tuesday. We actually, with your donations, along with the awesome work that the students have done, we was able to give them 40 $25 Safeway gift cards, totaling $1,000 to give to their patients. All those who are going through their chemotherapy treatments and all of that. There's a lot of homeless population that has breast cancer and different forms of cancer, and they just need a little help. So at the Bennett Career Institute, that is what we decided to do. Every year we try to take a different charity, and so far we've been stuck on the 3W Project, the project I created, Wigs for Wonderful Women. So we were able to bless Washington Hospital Center. Also, Black Friday was crazy. It's my first time doing Black Friday. All I'm going to say is it was crazy. And also in the beauty industry this week, the Golden Scissors Awards is this coming Sunday. So we have our reunion hair show in March, but this coming Sunday is the Golden Scissors Awards with Glenn Jackson. Glenn Jackson was a very big supporter of the Bennett Career Institute. So if you're not doing anything on Sunday, go out to the Civic Center, look up GoldenScissorsAwards.com, and go out and check them out. All right, everybody, that's all we have in the beauty industry and the beauty news. When we come back, we're going to be talking about what causes hair breakage. This is C. Allen. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
She's doing her hair. Oh, that's crazy. I like it.
Yes, indeed. All right, everyone. We're back here live in the nation's capital. This is 1450 AM WOL, where information is power. Today we're talking about hair breakage. I mentioned to you before that you need to make sure that you take out pen and paper. Let's go to class. We're giving you this $15,000 tuition free of charge today. Today, C. Allen is back in the classroom, and for those of you who are questioning what's going on, I am a DC licensed instructor. Okay, and 20 years of experience in the beauty industry, 5 salons and a beauty school. Let's get busy. Now, when we talk about, and I said that for one of my Facebook folks, you know, I'm talking to you. I'm on Facebook. I'm doing on Twitter. Everything at the same time. So let's get busy. Now, when we talk about hair breakage, I have about 6 things that we need to discuss that to me causes hair breakage. The first thing that causes hair breakage, and I'm mainly talking to my consumers today, the first thing that causes hair breakage is too much heat when styling, flat ironing, or hot curling. Let me tell you something. I don't care what tools you use. You should not be flat ironing your hair every day. It is unfortunate how I see women, and I hear about women who get up every day and plug up those curling irons, or women every day who plug up that stove and put those curling irons on the stove and curl their hair every day. Or especially you go out to places, I won't mention names, Target, those kind of places, and you get you some flat irons, and you flat iron your hair every single day. And what was so funny to me was we have a makeup girl who said to me that she said, you can have my $175 Chi irons. And I said, well, why would she? Said, because it broke my hair out. Let me explain something to you. And I'm not saying this because we're a Chi partner school, but the reality of it is that I don't care if it was Chi, me, bleed, T, Kiki. You are not supposed to be flat ironing your hair every single day. Okay? So the first thing that causes hair breakage is too much heat. Let go some of that heat, okay? The second thing that causes hair breakage is lack of conditioning. Do you use leave-in conditioners or deep conditioning? One of the things about African Americans especially, even though I got all kinds of listeners, but black folk especially need some moisture in order for their hair to thrive. Almost every week, I keep saying it over and over and over again. I'm not talking about hydration station today, but I keep telling you over and over, you must have some conditioning. Now, let me tell you something. Now, one of my partners is Sally's in Langley Park, and they have what's called Firmadol. I've been using Firmadol for years. It comes in, it's a 3-pack. It comes in like test tubes, and it's no more than $4, $5, $6, something like that. But that Firmadol is a leave-in conditioner. So after you shampoo your hair, you put that Firmadol in, and you massage it in your scalp, and then you go ahead and roll your hair, or however you're going to do it, blow dry your hair, what have you. But it is important that we get some moisture. Some people have said to me, well, C. Allen, I know you talk about the hydration station and all of that, but I really can't afford to come into the salon. Well, let me just share it with you. It's not all about me just pushing the C. Allen salons and spas, but it's about you having healthy hair. What you need to do, you need to do 2 things when you go to Sally's Beauty Supply in Langley Park. That's my man, Bill. When you go there, what you need to do is you need to not only get Firmadol, get you some cholesterol treatment, and then get you some plastic caps. And then what you do is while you at home cleaning the house on Saturday morning, after you shampoo your hair, put you a healthy amount of cholesterol treatment in your hair, put a plastic cap on that head, and let your body temperature That will also do the job in order to break down that cuticle, so that conditioner can go into their cortical layer. So it's also important that for those of you who are on a budget and on a dime, then you need to go. The cholesterol is no more than $3. You need to go and get you some treatments and do it yourself at home, but you must have conditioning treatments. Now, number 3, a wide tooth comb. You know, it's just amazing to me, but I understand because you're not in the beauty industry, so you have no clue. You go out and you buy any comb that's on sale. Most of the times when you buy those small tooth combs where the comb it doesn't have a lot of space in between the teeth, it is important to know that you are not supposed to be trying to comb your hair with those kind of combs. It is important to know that you need a wide tooth comb because, number 1, it is for detangling. When you comb your hair, let's say you've been wearing your wig all week and you comb your hair, you do not start combing your hair from your scalp down to the root. I mean, from the root down to the end of the hair shaft. It doesn't work that way. What you have to do is you have to start at the bottom of the hair and work your way up to the scalp. It's amazing to me how I see some women, they take their wig off and they take that comb and they go straight to that scalp and they start combing their hair down, and all this hair is coming in the comb because you're breaking your hair with using those small tooth combs, as well as not learning how to comb your hair properly. You have to start at the bottom of your hair and work your way up. So the first one was too much heat. When styling, flat iron, hot curling, that's a no ma'am. The second one is lack of conditioning. You use leave-in conditioners or deep conditioning. And I mentioned about how it's important if you have over curly hair that you constantly condition your hair. The next thing is the wide tooth comb. Some people have said they had no clue why you have small teeth, wide teeth, all of that. But the wide tooth comb is really good for detangling. The next thing is, and this is the thing where I'm going to have to spend a little bit of time on, and this is all my ponytail people. Now listen to me. We're not saying do not wear a ponytail. But what we're saying is the tight ponytail holders with the elastic and the metal pieces in it. A lot of times the accessories can get caught and cause hair breakage. I get very angry when I see people with rubber bands to keep their hair together. That is not good. That causes hair breakage. I get very angry when a lot of times, and I've seen it so much, especially this week on Black Friday when I went out shopping for the first time ever Black Friday, and I saw so many African American women in their hair back in the rubber bands. I said, my God, I could probably feel my whole arm up if I took the opportunity to take off everybody's rubber bands off their heads. I can feel my whole arm with nothing but rubber bands. Listen to me. It is important that you go out and get those scrunchies. You go out and get something with a soft fabric that, let's say it has the elastic on the inside, but the covering is soft. This way it will allow your hair not to break off. These are simple things that you can do. Okay? The next one is overlapping your chemical. Relaxer onto previously relaxed hair causes breakage. Listen to me, and this is important because I get so tired of people talking about, the relaxer took my hair out. The relaxer took my hair out. First and foremost, you're never supposed to do a relaxer at home. I'm not going to call no names out. Rashida Franklin, who's been doing her own relaxer since she was a young girl, that's the devil. That's why you don't have no hair. Let's move forward. It is important for you to please make sure that you go to the professional. You go into a salon when it's time for you to get something like a relaxer or a color. I get very angry when you out getting these box colors, and I get very angry when you out calling yourself putting your own relaxer in, and most times it will only take in certain areas. And then this is the problem. Pay attention. You will put these box relaxers in. They will only take in certain areas, and then what will happen is you still have a lot of new growth. So then you come in and you want us to now do the relaxer, and when we do the relaxer, we are also putting relaxer on already relaxed hair. That is going to cause hair breakage. That's one of the reasons why you shouldn't be doing your relaxers at home. But most importantly, when it comes to relaxing hair, We already know. I know Rashawn Bourdin's going to say, oh, Lord, here we go. But when we do a chemical relaxer, we are permanently rearranging over curly hair to a straight form. That is a permanent thing that you're doing. It is nothing wrong with doing that. That is why we have conditioners, and that is why we have conditioners to bring in moisture. That's why we have the hydration station. That's why we have different things. And the important thing is, and Mr. Broadnick's just typed me back, okay, okay. What's important is we need to make sure that we do not overprocess our hair. When we overprocess our hair, that is when we have hair breakage. What is a touch-up, C. Allen? A touch-up is when you are only applying relaxer to the new growth. I get so sick of women who come into me and say, I want my hair bone straight, C. Allen. When I get out of this chair, I don't want to see a ridge. I want to have bone straight. That is what a lot of stylists do, but that is not good for you. It is not good for you. As long as that hair is straight, you're okay. But that bone straight, paper feather kind of hair, no ma'am. Listen, when we come back, we're going to talk about the 3 signs that you need to trim. Today, we're talking about hair breakage, breaking the cycle series here on the C. Allen Morning Show. All right, everybody. Today, we're talking about hair breakage, breaking the cycle series. If you're just tuning in, this is C. Allen here, live in living color, Washington, D.C. I want to do a shout out to all of my listeners, all of the thousands of people that are listening, especially my friends. A big shout out to Harold in Brazil. A shout out to Derek in Germany. I see you're listening. A shout out to Walter, today your birthday in Paris. Tony in Switzerland. I'm just so excited. Sean in Atlanta. Rod in Atlanta. All of you just keep listening. Today we're talking about hair breakage. We started off with number 1, too much heat and styling. Number 2, lack of conditioning. Number 3, the wide tooth comb. Number 4, tight ponytails with that elastic metal piece. Number 5, overlapping your chemical, having your hair being overprocessed. And then our final one is hair color. This is really important. How many times, think about it when you think about sodium hypochlorite. Sodium hypochlorite, everyone, is nothing but household bleach. So let's talk about bleach for the hair. Oftentimes we want a double process. A double process is when we bleach the hair first and then we deposit a color over top of that. Some of the clients are saying, well, what in the world are you talking about, C. Allen? What I'm talking about is when you see women who may have brown hair but blonde streaks, or you see women who have black hair but burgundy streaks. In order to get those burgundy streaks, and if we did not just use a hairspray, then a color spray, then what we had to do was we had to do a double process. We had to put a full cap. We had to put a cap on you, and sometimes we do full method or we do the cap method. And what we do is it is an opportunity for us to now lighten the hair, and we use a lightener, some people say bleach, for the hair, and then we deposit a color over top of that. Many times when I run into people at Morehouse College, where I graduated from, we was taught the 3-foot rule. Never let anyone come within 3 feet of you without you selling yourself or your business. So in the grocery store, everywhere I go, I talk to everybody. And that is why everyone knows me, because I talk to everybody everywhere I go. I don't even care if you're looking all mean. I always say, well, man, what's going on with your head, or what have you. And one of the things that I find, especially in the grocery stores, when I'm in line and I'm talking to the lady in front of me or behind me, and their hair, you can tell that they had color in their hair, a double process. And the first thing they say to me is, oh, C. Allen, can I get a card because the lady I was going to, she took my hair out. No, she didn't. One of the things that we have to remember, clients, listeners, and friends, it is important to know that once you get a double process, once you get the color in your hair, you have to constantly condition that color, because if you do not, the bleach part is going to get dry and brittle, and it is going to fall out. I taught at CCA, the correctional facility. We have a contract there. I taught there for many, many years. And when I taught at CCA, what I told I had the women in the morning, I had the guys in the afternoon. What I did was we bleached a mannequin. And after we bleached the mannequin, we sat there and we watched the mannequin week after week. We didn't add conditioning treatments. We didn't do anything to it. We just bleached the mannequin and we let it sit there. Why did I do that? I wanted to show the students the effect of what bleaching would do. Every week when I went over to the jail, every week there was more hair on the floor. We told the inmates, do not sweep it up because this is an assignment. This is what I'm doing. It was a project. By the end of maybe week 10, between week 10 and week 11, the mannequin was completely bald. There was no hair left on the mannequin. And this was a good example to show them how important it is that if we're going to do a double process, if we're going to color someone's hair, we have to have conditioning treatments. You know, I have a problem when I offer specials on the line. And that's why you see I haven't done it today. I offer specials on the line. I have a problem when people think that the only thing that we're trying to do is trying to make some money off of the listeners. My job is to enlighten the listeners. We have a clientele base. My job is to enlighten the listeners and to make sure all y'all running around here with y'all nappy, raggedy heads, that I can be able to help you make your hair feel and look better. This is the reason why we talk about the hydration stations. Now, what I am going to be doing, and this is no special, what I'm going to be doing is some of the clients have often said, see, Alan, I want you. I don't want you to send me to your salon and I get a newbie or a junior stylist or somebody like that, but I want you to look at my hair and tell me, because of the Breaking the Cycle series, I am going to be at 2 locations every week for clients if you book that consultation. That consultation on Tuesdays, I'm going to be at 2100 Martin Luther King, which is right across the street from the big chair. Plenty of parking across the street. On Wednesdays, I'm going to be at the Sea Island Signature Salon, which is at 705 Florida Avenue Northwest. So you got 2 choices. You can either come see me at the Signature Salon on Wednesday in Northwest, or you can see me at the Martin Luther King location in Southeast. 202-526-1400, extension 42. Mr. Broadnex is by the phones now. This is for consultation. This is for me to look at that bald head, that scalp, that bald spot, the breakage of the hair, all that kind of stuff. I want to be able to look at you and be able to help you and tell you what you need to do. Now, this is important. If you are on medications, you need to write them down and bring them with you. Again, C. Allen himself is going to be, and this is only by appointments only, if you do not just walk up in there, because I'm not going to be there if you don't set an appointment. And then if you just walk up in there and I have an appointment, I'm not going to see you. I'm going to see the appointment. 202-526-1400, 202-526-1400, extension 42. Rashawn Broadnex is there to answer those calls. All right, everyone. So listen, hair color and those box colors and all this stuff, I am not a fan of you going into the regular beauty supply stores and the regular counters and CVS's and all those places buying those. I got a problem with all of that. Professional colors. You need to go to a professional and get some professional colors. All right, let's move on. 3 signs you need, 3 signs to know that you need a trim. Number 1, the most important one that everyone knows is what? Split ends. It is so important for you to understand. What is a split end? A split end, everyone, is when you see at the end of your hair, it's kind of wiry. It's going in all kinds of directions. Sometimes you see little knots at the bottom, all that kind of stuff. Those are signs of split ends. Many of you are walking around with split ends, and let me explain something to you. And this is for the stylist too. I don't care how beautiful you try to make somebody's hair. And I'm so sick of these clients talking about something, she set me up, but you didn't want to trim. It is important, in order for your hair style to be immaculate and the way that it is supposed to be, you must have a trim. We can curl that hair till we blue in the face, but then it's still going to be fuzzy and buzzy at the bottom. Get it? Fuzzy and buzzy, because you did not get a trim. 3 signs that you need to trim. The first sign is split ends. Every time you get a relaxer, you need to get a trim. It is important, and stylists need to understand, because one of the biggest things that the clients say to me is, well, see, Alan, I asked for a trim and they gave me a haircut. Well, did you need a haircut? And if you needed a haircut, then that stylist was supposed to be able to tell you. So my advice to you from C. Allen to your ears is that it is important to ask the client, how much damage to our hair? How much hair do you need to take off? Then you make that decision on how much that you're going to get, because many of you, the split ends, guess what? If you don't take care of it, it's going to continue to split all the way up the hair shaft until the hair's gone. Then one of the things that I think is so funny, I see a lot of women with shoulder length hair. And Lord have mercy, they've been wanting hair all their life. They done went out and they got jerry curls and they got all kinds of stuff. They put their hair in braids. They do everything they can to juice it up so they can have long hair. And now that you got a little piece of hair, guess what? You need your ends trimmed. And I see so many women with long hair and shoulder length hair that they need a trim, but they don't want to lose any length. But guess what, sweetness? Your hair isn't going to grow unless you get a trim. All right, the next one is damaged hair. Due to lack of conditioners, and one of the biggest ways you can tell is knots at the end. So if you have damaged hair, that is a sign that you need a trim. And most times with damaged hair, you need a haircut, because a lot of times when that hair becomes really damaged, that's when it's time that we need to get a good cut for you. Oftentimes, if you don't know, pick up a magazine, look through magazines, talk to your stylist, go to someone seasoned. A lot of times what people say is they will go to one person for their haircut, but then they go to somebody else for the hairstyle. So you really need to be able to trust your hairstylist in reference to their great haircut. And the last one is if your hair is out of shape. And that's the flyaway strands. Oh, my God. That is when you have to put more time in getting your hair to act right. That is when you're in front of that mirror using all of those different kind of sprays and products and all that kind of stuff because you're trying to get your hair together. That is another sign that you need a trim. All right, everybody, we got to take another break. But the 3 signs that you need to trim, one is split ends, one is damaged hair, what normally happens when you need a haircut, and the next one is the hair out of shape. You got to take too much time trying to put it together. All right, everybody, when we come back, we're going to talk about the 7 tips on maintaining healthy, relaxed hair. This is C. Allen. We'll be back after these messages. Yes, indeed. All right, everyone, we're back here live, our final session today. We're talking about Breaking the Cycle series. We talked about hair breakage, 3 signs that you need to trim, and finally we're talking about 7 tips to maintaining relaxed hair. Now keep in mind, everybody, next week you don't want to miss it. We're talking about breaking bad habits next week, and then the week after that we're going back to hair loss for our Breaking the Cycle series. Let me give out that number again. The consultations are free of charge. We're not asking anybody to bring anything to pay anything. We just want to be able to give you some good advice on maintaining your hair. 202-526-1400, extension 42. The consultations are free of charge. We are not coming to get your hair done. That's your choice if you would like to, but if you wanted to come in, bring in your medications, talk to me about your hair loss or your hair breakage or your damaged hair, that is what C. Allen is here to do, and it is free of charge. On Tuesdays, I'm in the Southeast location. On Wednesdays, I'm in the Northwest location. Also, keep in mind, everyone, you can come any day of the week to the Bennett Career Institute, 700 Monroe Street, Northeast. We have construction going all around us, and a lot of people say, well, where do I park? You park directly across the street from the Bennett Career Institute in the parking lot. So there's several parking lots, but the one that we ask that the clients park in is the one directly across the street. Our clinic is open Tuesday through Friday and on Saturday. Tuesdays and Thursdays 10 to 2. Wednesdays and Fridays 10 to 2, 5 to 7, and Saturdays from 8 until 2. For more information about the clinic floor, you call the same number, the 202-526-1400. The clinic floor, you press 25. If you want to see C. Allen personally, you press 42. All right, everyone. 7 tips on maintaining healthy, relaxed hair. The first one is see a professional for a chemical. We already talked about that. Please do not be at home doing relaxers. First of all, there's different kinds of relaxers, okay? There's sodium hydroxide relaxers. There's calcium-based relaxers. There are no-lie relaxers. There's so many different kind of relaxers, and you want to make sure that you go to someone that is going to be able to analyze your hair and then tell you what is the best kind of relaxer for you. That is why you need to come and see Allen. Listen to me. Let me say this. I'm not trying to steal you from other stylists. No. But if you know that you have someone that may haven't addressed that issue, and let me say this for the record because one of my listeners typed in something. Now, oftentimes I get carried away when I say bald and this and that, but please be mindful that I'm not here to offend anyone. It is important to know that my job is to make sure I try to make it as real as possible to get you out of that house and get you out from behind that desk and come into the Sea Island salons and spas and let me help maintain your hair and scalp. I actually make custom-made shampoo and conditioners for hair loss. That's why I said bring your medicines in so I can be able to see what's going on. I don't announce it often because I'm one person and I make it myself in the kitchen and I'm not trying to be overburdened. That's why during the Breaking the Cycle series, I will see people. Once the series is over, then you're back to your regular stylist, okay? So the first one is see a professional for chemicals. The next one is avoid over-processing. Some of you, after 3 weeks, you see a little bit of new growth. You're ready to run into the shop talking about, oh, my hair, I need to relax. And no, you don't. The book tells us that every 4 to 6 weeks, a lot of times everyone's hair type is different. But what you need to try to do is there's ways that you can get around doing the relaxers. What do you mean, C. Allen? Have your stylist, an experienced stylist, to flat iron the new growth, okay, as well as the rest of your hair in between relaxing sessions. So when you see that you got some new growth, but you don't really need a relaxer or touch up, if you don't really need a touch up, then go ahead and let's get some kind of pressing treatments. The next one is choose low or no heat styling. What does that mean, Ciana? That means wrap your hair. This is what grandmamas that you're listening, this is what you tell your grandbaby who's 14, 15, 16 and hair all tore up. What you tell them is after you go to CC Island, you're going to bring them in to see me after school one day. And then what you're going to do is I'm going to show them how to wrap their hair. If you go to the MLK salon in Southeast, Katina, the hair doctor, the transformer, she has silk caps that she sells there at a reasonable price. So it's important that we train everybody on how to get something like a wrap and curl. That means that we will show you how to wrap your hair at night, put your silk bonnet on like your grandmama used to do. Put your silk bonnet on, and in the morning you comb down that hair and you still have a beautiful head of hair, and you didn't have to pull up those curling irons or pull out the flat iron. Also, a wet set. A wet set is very good, and I believe that Rashawn at the Signature Salon is going to be doing a wet set special. So if you come to me for consultation, I will probably give you to Rashawn after I do the consultation, because he has a wet set special that I believe is going to be $19.99, something like that for the holidays. But we can talk about that during your consultation. 202-526-1400, extension 42. Also, things like flexi rods, braids, buns. And when we talk about a bun is because I like the fact that my mother, every so often, she'll switch up and put a bun on. Honey, that Joyce Bennett is famous for a bun. Oh, yes. She loves a bun. Well, let me tell you, it's really good because oftentimes what will happen is if you can kind of protect those ends of the strand of the hair, protect them sometimes by putting them away so it can retain moisture. And when you do a bun, we're not talking about that tight ponytail with the rubber band, but we're talking about you using a nice scrunchie to put your hair up, and then you place the bun on top and you put your bobby pins in. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And some folks it's shing dong, shing dong, shing dong. All right. The next one is, I'm sorry, and it's not wet sets. Mr. Broadnex is going to be doing doobies, a 1999 doobie. Okay, thank you for the correction, sir. The next thing is wrap and protect at night, which we just talked about. Making sure that you wrap your hair, protect it, and then silk. So some people, I'm telling you, you need a silk satin kind of pillowcase, as well as a silk scarf, because sometimes the silk scarf in the morning gonna fall off that head, but you got this satin pillowcase. And it's important, we don't have a lot of time to tell you, but it's important to understand not just about your hair, but also what you put on your head, how you lay down, all that kind of stuff, which we don't have time to talk about today. The next thing is conditioning often. This is why we do the hydration stations at the salon, which is the high-tech steamers. What is the hydration station? High-tech steamers. Number 6, trim as needed, which we talked about. And then the final thing is wear protective styles, which is updos, braids. These hairdos keep the ends out of sight, which allows them to retain moisture, which we talked about. So that is my time, everybody. I appreciate everyone so much for listening to me week after week. I'm glad that you brought your pen and papers today. We're talking about Breaking the Cycle series. Next week, we're talking about those bad habits. I'm talking about you being with that same man that you know that every time he come around, you start to do negative things. Or we're talking about how you neglect your children when you know you shouldn't, but you constantly do those bad habits. The bad habits of always overeating. I'm a famous yo-yo dieter. We're going to talk about that next week. We're going to talk about how do we break bad habits. Popping that chewing gum, being unprofessional, loud outbursts, all those bad habits. We're going to talk about that next week. And it's important. Somebody say, what does that have to do with hair? We're talking about beauty, health, life, education, entertainment. This is the C. Allen Morning Show. All right, everybody, my time is up. 202-526-1400, extension 42. Remember, everyone, pamper yourself because it's your duty to be beautiful.